All right, guys, let's look at number one. Number one is 125, and we are taking away 43. Okay. So starting in the ones place, we have 5 minus 3, and that's 2. Then in the tens place, we have 2 minus 4. I have 2. I cannot take 4 away from 2, so I have to borrow or regroup from the hundreds place. So we're going to cross out the 1. The 1 becomes a 0. And the 2 becomes 12. So now we have 12 minus 4. And 12 minus 4 is 8. Number 2 is 200 minus 85. So we're taking 85 away from 200. I'm going to rewrite that in stacked form. I'm going to make sure that my 8 is in the tens place. And my 5 is in the ones place when I rewrite it in stacked form. All right, starting in the ones place. I have 0. I cannot take 5 away from 0, so I'm going to go to my next door neighbor, which is the tens place. There is a 0 here. So this 0 in the tens place is going to ask its next door neighbor, the 2. So the 2 is going to let him regroup. So we're going to cross out the 2. The 2 becomes a 1. The 0 in the tens place becomes 10. Now I can go back to the 0 in the ones place. The 0 in the ones place is going to borrow from the 10 in the tens place. So we're going to cross out that 10. That 10 becomes a 9. And the 0 in the ones place becomes a 10. Now I'm able to subtract. That's 10 minus 5, which is 5. 9 minus 8 is 1. And 1 minus nothing is 1. Number 3, 72 minus 9. Rewriting that in stacked form, making sure that my 9 is in the ones place. Okay, I have 2. I cannot take 9 away from it, so I'm going to go to my 7 in the tens place. Cross out the 7. The 7 becomes a 6. The 2 becomes 12. 12 minus 9 is 3. 6 minus nothing is 6. All right, number 4, 119 minus 105. Starting in the ones place, 9 minus 5 is 4. In the tens place, I have 1 take away 0, that is 1. And in the hundreds place, I have 1 minus 1, which is 0. I don't need to write 0. Moving on to number 5, 56 minus 38. Let's rewrite that in stacked form. Okay, in the ones place, I have 6 minus 8. I cannot do that, so I'm going to borrow from the tens place. So we're going to cross out the 5. The 5 becomes 4. The 6 becomes 16. So now we have 16 minus 8, which is 8. In the tens place, we have 4 minus 3, which is 1. Number 6. We have 228 minus 39. Starting in the ones place, 8 minus 9 we cannot do, so I'm going to regroup from the tens place, cross out the 2, that becomes a 1, the 8 becomes 18, 18 minus 9 is 9. In the tens place I have 1 take away 3, we cannot do that, so I'm going to borrow from the 2 in the hundreds place. Cross out the 2, that becomes a 1. In the tens place, that 1 becomes 11. So now we have 11 minus 3, that is 8. 1 take away nothing is 1. Number 7, We have 322 minus 67. Okay, we have 2 take away 7. We cannot do, so we're going to regroup from the tens place. Cross out the 2. The 2 becomes a 1. The 2 in the ones place becomes 12. So now we have 12 minus 7, and that is 5. Now in the tens place, we have 1 minus 6. We cannot do that, so we have to regroup from the hundreds place. So we're going to cross out the 3. The 3 becomes a 2. The 1 in the tens place now becomes 11. So now we have 11 minus 6, and that is 5. Okay, so now we have 2 minus nothing in the hundreds place, so that is 2. Number 8. 2,099 minus 483. Make sure the 4 is in the hundreds place, the 8 is in the tens place, and the 3 is in the ones place. Okay, now we have 9 minus 3 in the ones place, and that is 6. In the tens place, we have 9 minus 8, which is 1. In the hundreds place, we have 0, take away 4, which we cannot do. So I'm going to go to the thousands place, and I'm going to regroup from the 2. So we're going to cross out the 2. The 2 becomes a 1. The 0 in the hundreds place becomes a 10. And now we have 10 minus 4, which is 6. And in the thousands place, 1 minus nothing is 1. Number 9. We have 500 minus 124. Okay. In the ones place, we have 0 minus 4. We cannot do that. So the 0 in the ones place is going to act as next door neighbor, which happens to be a 0. So that can't help him. So the 0 in the tens place is going to act as next door neighbor, which is the hundreds place. So we're going to cross out the 5 in the hundreds place. The 5 becomes a 4. And now the 0 in the tens place becomes a 10. Now the 0 in the ones place can have something to regroup from. Now we're going to cross out the 10. The 10 becomes a 9. And the 0 in the ones place becomes a 10. Now I can subtract. We have 10 minus 4, which is 6. 9 minus 2 is 7. 4 minus 1 is 3. Last problem that we are checking, 7,521 minus 3,640. Please make sure that your thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones are lined up. Starting in the ones place, 1 take away 0 is 1. 2 take away 4 we cannot do, so I'm going to regroup from the hundreds place. Cross out the 5. The 5 becomes a 4. The 2 in the tens place becomes a 12. Now I can subtract. 12 minus 4 is 8. 4 minus 6 in the hundreds place we cannot do, so I'm going to borrow from the thousands place. Cross out the 7. The 7 becomes a 6. And the 4 in the hundreds place becomes 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. Moving to the thousands place. 6 minus 3 is 3. Let's not forget our comma. 3,881. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for checking your work.